Welcome back to the channel, folks. Today we're discussing TRKA Media Group, and I am very optimistic on the stock, and I'll talk about some of the few things that a lot of people it seems like they're missing, because at the end of the day, the stocks really move on the fundamentals. They don't really go off of what retail investors think or the brokerage firm thinks. It's about how strong the company can really become. And a good play is when you play it, not when it's hot. You want to be foreseeing a play, in my opinion, because you should be knowing that next day is going to be a better day what is going on today, because you could get the stock cheaper and end up making money. Because I want to be able to foresee the stock, and I think this stock has some potential, and I'll show you guys in a second. Now, 2 days ago, the stock dropped like 26%. There's a rule that we have, it's called uptick rule, okay? If the stock dropped 10% from a trading price, from a last trading price, yesterday, for example, and it dropped 10% the next day, you cannot keep shorting the stock at that point. You cannot bring the stock. You cannot kill the stock. Regulation stops you from doing that. And they have uptick rules that the stock price has to go up before you can short it again. So it's like there's no domino effect. People sometimes panic sell. And because of that, SEC wants to make sure that you guys are not selling on a panic sell. All right. So with that being said, let's take a look at the short interest right now. The short interest for the stock is 71%. Now, in reality, this is bad, right? But in my opinion, I think this can make one pretty rich, all right? Because the short interest is so high, a little bit of a good manipulation like smart money could come into the play, or a medium brokerage firm, or some of the retail investors could pump the stock and somebody buy a large sum of shares. People who are shorting the stock would have to cover their shorts. And you know what's going to happen? It's going to bump the price up and making us rich. This is what it is. And this is what happened with GameStop. This is what happened with AMC, and the pockets of short squeezes happened for AMC. We also have these other stocks like Bed Bath & Beyond, like a month ago, went from $3 to $7. That was a short squeeze. Things like that, they happen with the high volatile stock. And this is what's going to happen with this stock as well. Let's take a look at the fundamentals, why I think the stock is actually not that bad, all right? This is the 8K filing, and here they say that TRKA Media Group reports record revenue of $170 million. So again, they made money, even though it was not organic as per se. Like, they purchased a firm that was already good, and at the end of the day, but they still merged into the firm, right? If we look at the cash flow, this is how you determine a company on their cash flow. How much money do they have on hand? All right. -$7 million is their operating cash flow. So it's not, they weren't making any money, all right, before in 2022. -$82 million is where they purchased that firm that made them the money. Now, financing cash flow is what they raised from the stocks, $112 million. What do they have on hand? They have $32 million. And what they reported that we're able to make $187 million. With that being said, they covered this right here, and also they made $5 million on top of that, which means that if we go off of that $5 million, 32 plus 5, you got $37 million on hand right now, which is great because they have cash to run their business for another, if you think about it, it's $6 million, $4 million, $6 million. Every year they need about $6 or $7 million to run their company. If they have $37 million and their expenses are total about $7 or $8 million a year, how many years can they run? Think about it, 4 or 5 years. And even then, like, they will still be doing other things to try to grow their company. Okay. Now, given their balance sheet, for example, 204,000 is there. Now, 204, this is again 204,000, but you gotta times it with 1,000. Okay. So it's 204 million. Total assets, 193 million. Is liabilities. Stockholder equity is 10 million. So even if they go bankrupt, people who have preferred stocks, things like that, they will be able to get paid because they still have enough stockholder equity. So financially, the company is okay. It's a startup company. It's almost like a startup company. Again, if we look at their summary, right, how many shares do they trade a day? 65 million is their average shares they trade. Now, given that there was a panic, there was a lot of rumor, and there's a lot of people are just focused on the stock, 219 million shares were traded as of close of business day today. EPS is -33. As I said, operating cash flow is negative. They're not making money, but their total operating cash flow is the expenses they have to pay, the salaries and things like that. It's over $7 or $8 million, and they already have like 35, plus they're going to get the 40, almost $40 million they're going to have on hand. So they're going to go for a while, and I don't think the company is going bankrupt anytime soon. Let's take a look at cost to borrow. And for the folks that don't know what cost to borrow is, when company is not, if the company stock is going down, a lot of institutions will borrow the stock from the broker sell it in the market because they know the price of the stock is going to come down. When it does come down, they buy back the share from the market, pay back the broker the fee and the share, and take home the profit. Right now, brokers have about 1.5 million shares sitting at them, so there's a lot of quantity available, but the fee is not that high either. Okay, which means that, if the fee was like 300 or 400, I could tell you that stock is going bankrupt, or there's definitely going down 100%. But that fee is not that high. That's normal. 8,700, I think it's pretty normal. It's not a bank breaking fee that you'd have to worry about the stock going down. So I'm very bullish on the stock for tomorrow as well. And these are the levels that I have here. There's a couple of demands level. Again, what demand really is where people think this is a good price for me to get in and make money. Supply is when it gets to that level, people want to sell you the stock because they want to come out of the position or they want to short the stock at this price. So the supply levels I have around 46 cents, 48 cents. Now, if you go down to the demand levels, we got 33 cents, 25 cents, 16 and 17 cents, and 10 cents and 12 cents. So again, we'll have to see how these demand levels work. I'm going to cover the stock on a daily basis, and we'll see it as we progress. I'll make other videos as well for daily, so this way I keep a track on whatever I'm doing, and I'm sort of have a log as to how much, what type of movement we have on the stock, so we can foresee the future. So if you're new to the channel, do consider subscribing. I'll talk to you guys in the next video.